Good afternoon. It is the 20th of April today, and I've started building the grow beds on the other side of my greenhouse. And thought I'd change up a few things. Let me show you, just to get your bearings where things are at. Let me show you the layout here. Now, this is just a quick review. You can see there's that side of the greenhouse, and this side is the one that I've already got all the grow beds all running and things are growing in them. And then there's some vines in the middle there, and I'm going to grow some things here and here. But on this side, what I want to do is put grow beds. I put one more right out here. That's a window there that has to be able to open, so I can't go any further than that. So I'm going to have a smaller grow bed right there, and another one like this one over there where you can see the bricks that are laying down, and of course there's the fish pond. Now, one thing that I did with this set of grow beds over here is I used 6mm greenhouse plastic. You can see some of it hanging out over the edge. And that's the appropriate thing to use, because greenhouse plastic it resists rotting because of the sunshine. Other plastic that you can buy that's clear, won't resist rotting. In a year or two, it'll just be in tatters and it'll be shredded. But greenhouse plastic won't. But greenhouse plastic is a little expensive. Now, what is this, you might ask? This is standard construction visqueen. And I think I'm going to use that in these grow beds over here, because it doesn't seem to deteriorate in the sun. Now, the reason I've got this old ratty piece here is this has been laying out in some corner of my yard, my property, for a couple of years. And if you look at it, it was torn off as something just thrown on the ground and left there for a couple of years in the sunshine and the snow and the rain and whatever. And you can see right here maybe where it was torn. If I take right there and try to tear that, it is still strong. It doesn't give. Whereas I know standard clear plastic, that's not greenhouse plastic that you could have at the hardware store and buy, maybe for shielding paint and stuff like that, will rot away in about 1 year in the sunshine. I've done it. In 1 year it'll just be, it's just it's like rice paper, it's very, very delicate. You can shred it very easily, you can whip it by touching it. So, this obviously doesn't. And this is a whole lot cheaper than greenhouse plastic. And so I'm going to start using it in this, because I think it's economically viable, and it does work, and it doesn't seem to be attacked by the sun, although they don't advertise it that way. I think it has something to do with the way it's colored black or something like that. Now you get the same thing with this stuff. Now this is just a piece of PVC, and it's black, but I've had these, lights of these laying out in the yard in the sunshine for like 5 or 10 years. And I'll go and, say, well, I need a piece of that. And I'll go find a chunk. And, when you clean it up, they're just like new. They're pliable as they ever were. They don't break. So I think it has to do, the resistance to solar decay has to do with probably the coloring that they put in this. It probably doesn't let the UV rays penetrate very much or something like that. Anyway, I'm going to start using this to line these beds with, and we'll see how that goes. And I bet it'll work just fine. Anyway, that's the update for today. Well, I've got the basics of my remaining grow beds roughed in, let's say. As you can see, what I've done here is I've got the, the 3 grow beds, the small one over there, and that one, and that one. And what I've got here is I installed a little valve over here. Let me show you. the basic pump comes out of here, and there's this hose. And what I did was I took off a little feed going up here, and there's a little valve there. Now that's the only valve in the whole system. And the only reason the valve is there because I want to have a very small amount of flow on this. So, you know, I thought, well, let's do that. Now, what happens is, well, you can see that it goes in that black hose all the way down there, and then it runs out there. And then this is the last stage. When this one gets full, it'll run out here and go back into the pond. But now, as you can see, I've been filling it up, and this one is overflowing now into this one. And what we've got here, as you can see, I've put a connector to connect the two. So as this one gets full, it runs into this one. And the same over here. As this one gets full, it runs into this one. And that's what's happening right now. And I've also got water, makeup water being put in there so that, you know, it doesn't take it all out of the pond. But it seems to be working. I haven't got any leaks yet. And so what we've got to do now is wait for this last one to fill up, which is going to take about a half an hour, and then see how it runs out and see if everything works fine, check for leaks. But anyway, there it is. Let me back up here. There it is. There's the last of my grow beds, and as you can see, you know, there's the ones on the other side. Now those are a little fancier, but this is just a straight flow from this one to that one to that one, and then back into the pond. That's all we're going to be doing here. So we'll see when that one fills up and see how everything works. Well, it's the 1st of May 2017, and I just thought I'd do a little update on the final grow beds. Let me walk over here and show you what we've done here. And let's see. Now here's the smaller one. Now we used 3.5 mil poly on these instead of the 6 because, as I said before, I couldn't get 6 mil poly in less than, I don't know, it was a long roll of that stuff, and I didn't need it. So, but I could get 3.5 mil in 25-foot piece. So I thought, let me go with that, and it's a little thinner than I want. But if we're careful, it should work. But anyway, there it is, and you can see what's happening. The water is being pumped into here. And you can see there's the hose that goes there, and then there's the valve down there. And it goes from one to the other. You can see it's running. There it comes. And then the same thing with that. There's another hose here. And it comes out of here. It goes out through there. Now I found one thing curious that you really ought to do and take note of. When I first hooked this up, you know, I had these pointing down, and this hose was a lot longer, and it kind of looped down and then back up. And I thought, well, that's no problem. It's just, you know, water weight. But what happened is, if you get any bubbles on this end, it impeded the flow. So I had to cut this and just make a straight shot over here, and now the flow is much better. And you wouldn't think you'd get that much of a problem, you know, with just a short piece of hose like that, where they had a little kind of a P-trap on it, but it was. I thought that was amazing. But anyway, and then it goes down here to the end, and there's the last one. You can't see it's flowing in, but it goes down there. And what I want to do is maybe at that end put a little waterfall or something and have that water discharge out of there. But anyway, there it is. It's working. And then you can see it from this end, and I've got some you know, coverings on it, and I've trimmed off some of the black plastic. And what I'm going to do is put some fish in here, probably there at that last one, because there are fish in here, I think. I put them in there, but I haven't seen them for a while. Now the water is just barely 60 degrees, so I'm thinking that they're on the bottom hibernating, because that is 4 feet deep, and you know, it's got enough algae in it that I can't see through to the bottom. But I think they're still down there. But just to be sure, what I'm going to do is go down to the little pet shop and get me some feeder goldfish and put them in here. Put about a dozen in here, and that way I can see for sure if they're dying or they're hanging in there or what they're doing. It's still in the system, so you know they'll still get the the benefit through here. But anyway, I found a long time ago that if you put goldfish in where there's plants, they tend to nibble on the roots. So that's not a good thing. But in this case, just to make sure the fish are alive, maybe I'll put some tough plants in there. I'm not sure what we'll do, but anyway, we'll see. But anyway, there it is. And ready to start putting the styrofoam rafts in there, and we'll plant some things.